Hey, this is Billy Childs from Brittany Fox, and you're listening to the Cosmick Voice.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
This is the Cosmick Voice. Cosmick Voice. Music, talk, and nothing but business with your hosts, Chris Natalini and Mick Michaels. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cosmick Voice. This is Season 8, Episode 4. I am here with my co-host, Chris Natalini.
What's happening, everybody?
And I am Mick Michaels. Welcome back, everyone, to another show. Chris, how are you, sir?
What is up, Mick? I am doing fantastic.
Awesome.
What's going on with you?
Staying busy, reading, writing, arithmetic.
Yeah.
Something like that.
About.
Yeah,
buddy. That's what I'm talking about.
Something. Just staying busy, man. I think that's the best solution to most problems.
Yes. I mean, that's all we could do, right? Just got to keep moving forward.
Got to keep moving forward. I remember I was in California on tour, and someone was giving us directions, and we're like, do we go straight at the light? No, don't go straight. Go forward. Go forward to the light. Don't go straight. And
that's right.
We say go forward here. Don't go straight. So, okay, we're going forward. At this light, we go forward.
Forward.
That's
absolutely
always
correct.
Forward.
Just keep moving forward, baby.
Keep moving forward.
All it is.
You're moving forward closer to death. That's what they say.
That's it, man. Follow the light, buddy. Follow the light.
Yeah, I don't know. Carol Ann was supposed to stay out of the light, but I'm not sure.
Well,
they changed it
I know,
midstream, right?
They did. Well, they had to, right? Because they could get Poltergeist 2 in.
That first one was a real good movie.
Oh,
yeah,
so good, man. Such a classic.
I'm not a big horror guy. I never was. I'm not into all that, the popular stuff and the whatever. But for some reason, that was something that was a little bit more, I don't know, mainstream. Maybe because Spielberg did it. I'm not sure, but there was something a little bit more to it. And it was that time, man. It was so cool. Early like that feel, that look.
Yeah. It was a different kind of film. I felt like it had a little bit of humor in it, had a little bit of like a family value kind of thing, and the acting was top notch.
Oh yeah.
The story was interesting, and it wasn't too complicated, and when you found out exactly what was going on, like, it wasn't just a horror movie. It had a little bit of something. It touched on everything, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of love, a little bit of how this family gets through these things together, and the love of the child. It had a lot in it other than just straight up horror, which that was probably, like you said, because of Steven Spielberg. So
yeah, there was definitely that 80s charm to it. Again, it had that Spielberg feel, E.T. and that kind of thing. But there was that 80s charm, the way it was shot, the color of it. There was just something about it. It holds up today, I think, personally.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely does. I mean, 100%. And, speaking of, like, 80s movies in that era, I just saw a trailer for Michael J. Fox's, I guess there's a documentary of him coming out, and I was like, oh, what a horrible thing to, happen to anybody, but to such an amazing actor, this huge person through the 80s, his career and the great movies he did, and, he always looked like such a really nice, I should say looked, because he's still alive, but looks like such a nice man, and, to see him in this health position he's in, it makes me sad. But I saw this documentary, it's about him and his life, I guess. I go, love it. I can't wait to see it, because I was a huge Michael J. Fox fan I still am today, but he just ruled the 80s, man. Just ruled the 80s. And I mean, Back to the Future, one of the greatest movies ever filmed. I mean, it's just such a classic movie.
Yeah, well, again, another Spielberg movie, right?
Another Spielberg, man. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Michael J. Fox he's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he had a good career through the 90s, and then he had that TV show for the other TV show, but then he had to leave, because I think of the Parkinson's starting or something like that.
Yeah,
I forget what it was.
Something like that.
I've read a couple of his books. I think he just released like another book, right? Just recently.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
As of the recording of this episode, so that's interesting. I'd like to maybe get a hold of that.
I like actors and actresses when they don't take themselves too seriously. Like, they understand where they started from. I love an actor that, even musicians, that don't shy away from the earlier stuff that they did, good or bad. Like, they just either make fun of it or, just kind of lean into it. How many appearances has Michael J. Fox made through the years as, McFly? Like, I mean, there's so many talk shows, or, him and Christopher Lloyd, would get together and do a little skit, as a celebration. I love that kind of stuff, man, because that's one of those things that I go, that's kind of what put you, not on the map, but like, that's one of those things that should be celebrated. All those things that people remember you for and love you for. And I know there's a lot of not nice things said about Jamie Lee Curtis and the kind of person she is, but I love that she leans into the Halloween thing. Like, she knows where she comes from, and she doesn't shy away from it. She doesn't go, Halloween, blah. I was so young. Like, she's like, yeah, man, like, this is what I did. This is who I am. This is where I started. I love when people do that kind of stuff. I love that.
Well, she's had a career where she's been like in and out, like multiple times. Like, she's like, they've counted her out, and then all of a sudden she's, she came back with like True Lies, and then she's fallen apart again, and then all of a sudden she comes back with the remake of Freaky Friday.
Right.
And then she disappears again, and she was in that Michael J. Fox television series. Which then brought her back again, and then she did that House of Horrors or whatever thing. She comes back and she does that thing, and
the Scream Queen TV show.
I've always had an issue with, and maybe because I just don't understand it, but actors, actresses, even musicians who get kind of pigeonholed into something that made them popular, and then they turn away from it.
I never understood that, man.
But then they go back to it after a while when they realize, hey, well, this is where I am and this is who I am. And sometimes embracing it. I mean, look, Henry Winkler had a problem getting a show after Happy Days because everybody's seen him, for 10, 11 years as the Fonz.
Yeah.
And so did Mark Hamill. But Henry Winkler went behind the camera. Yeah. And became, a director and so on and so forth. But then, like we've talked about before, there's that phenomenon called last man standing. Like, if you're still in the game, going back to what we talked about at the beginning of the show, if you keep moving forward, sooner or later, things come back around. Then Henry Winkler's doing little bits and pieces in this movie or that movie. Then he's in, what was he in, Waterboy? And that kind of like all of a sudden. And then he's done tons of stuff.
I just love that kind of stuff because, I like to see. I mean, listen, look at Susan Sarandon, right? As major of an actress she is, she embraces Rocky Horror Picture Show. And if you look at Rocky Horror Picture Show, that movie is just, it's amazing. I mean, it's a classic. The music is unbelievable. I can't say enough good things about Rocky Horror, but you would think somebody like Susan Sarandon would go, I don't want to talk about that. And yet she was amazing and she embraces it. And that, to me, is amazing because Susan Sarandon is such a widely sought-after actress, someone that everybody loves and adores. She really could be like, oh, I don't want to talk about that piece of trash.
Right.
Yet she's like, oh, no, I'm all in. She loves it. I think it's great. I love it. I love when people just kind of embrace. Even like Pantera, music-wise, they were a glam band back in the day. And there have been times where the Abbott brothers were still around. They talked about it. They embraced it. They didn't shy that much away from it. I think it's cool because that's where you started, man. That's how people know you, and you shouldn't. You should not shy away from it. It is what it is, good or bad. It just is what it is.
I'll be one of the guys that say I actually like that stuff that they did.
I do too. It was good,
man. It was good stuff. I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, again, it's night and day.
Yeah.
Listen, on the Michael J. Fox thing, too, he kind of defied the Hollywood stereotype. And this is not taking a shot, but he wasn't a very tall gentleman.
No.
And he became a leading actor, right? A leading man with some of the highest grossing films, especially of the 80s and early 90s. So there was always that kind of thing. I mean, and they've had people in the music industry do the same thing. Dio, all of AC/DC, actually. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's kind of cool because not everybody's going to be Tommy Lee height like me. It always gave me hope. It's like, all right, well, look at that. I mean, to be taller than me is really not that hard for anybody, but it's like, so,
it's just such a cool thing. I love to say it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the Michael J. Fox documentary. Did you read any of his books?
I read some of his earlier books. Like I said,
Did you?
Yeah. I mean, like he talked about, like, you know, his coming up, you know, in Canada and then making his way to America to, you know, to be a star and all like that. It was kind of like some inspirational writing to not give up, to stay focused.
Sure.
Things are going to hit you. They may hit you hard. They may hit you hard even after you got stuff together. His first couple books, easy reads. And again, I love easy reads. But he's got this new one that has like a Back to the Future type cover. I can't remember the title right now, but I'm probably going to pick it up before the end of the year.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll have to look into that.
That's the kind of books I like. I like reading biographies, autobiographies.
I do too.
And historical type stuff. I'm not real big into... Like, if I'm going to get into like a fantasy or sci-fi, I'd rather watch the movie. I know that sounds whatever, but I'd rather read real things or true life things or something like that.
Me too.
And then leave my viewership to the stuff that makes you go, you know. But anyway.
You know what's funny? Because I just started to read Charlie Sheen's autobiography.
Oh.
I mean, I'm a fan, like, you know, I'm not like an uber fan, but I saw him in a couple of interviews, you know, doing promotion for the book, and I'm like, you know, let me just check this out. And what I really, really enjoy about the book is, at least as far as I am, he doesn't trash anybody. Every person that has a name in the industry, he always says nice things about. You know, even like, you know, growing up through, you know, years, Chris Penn was one of his best friends, and he hasn't really said anything negative about anybody. And I like that, because I don't read books to hear about the trash. I'm not that guy. I mean, of course, you want to hear the tea. I get it. But I like when people write these books and then go, oh, yeah, this person had a huge influence on me. You know, they were so nice to me. And even though I was a screw up, these people were important in my life. And, you know, for even just a blip of time. And I really like that about Charlie Sheen's book. And I haven't gotten to the Tiger Blood years yet.
Right.
But, I'm at the point where, you know, he talks about Platoon, and he has so many great things to say about the cast of Platoon, and he talks about Corey Glover, you know, which was really cool, because back then Living Color hadn't taken off yet.
Right.
And, you know, he talks about how Corey Glover would sing on the set. According to Charlie Sheen, he claims, he'd be like, oh my God, Corey, like, why aren't you singing professionally? He's like, oh, well, I am in this band in New York called Living Color. And then Charlie Sheen said, you know, obviously they just blew up after the movie came out. But I'm pretty much at that point when Platoon just got done, things are starting to get, you know, he's hanging at the Playboy Mansion, like things are now starting to get a little fugazi in his life. Right now, it's a great read. It really is a good book. He has a great dry sense of humor. So it's an autobiography. We're not a book podcast, but
I don't know if it's HBO Max or one of them. There's the Charlie Sheen.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that yet. Yeah.
And you know what the crazy thing is like, what was it, 10, 12 years ago, he was like the Hollywood bad guy. People were like just trashing on him. Now all of a sudden, like, see that again, last man standing, time kind of heals all wounds type of thing here in this country. And then all of a sudden he's an American treasure. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of, you hit a certain age and then all of a sudden it's like, you know, everybody forgets your past.
Yeah, well, you know, especially that guy, because that guy had a bad run. You know,
he had a bad run,
He had a bad run, and, you know, drugs and alcohol, of course.
But, I mean, but his success paralleled that as well. Again, I know this is a music podcast about business stuff, but that's also interesting. I mean, because he's been in some super highly succecible projects. I mean, from TV to
so good,
and
man.
You may not realize it at first, but then you start going through it and you're going like, man, he's been around a while.
He's had an amazing career.
Yes. And he's also had some amazing escapades personally.
Well, yeah. Listen, you know, that's what happens, you know, when you get involved in that kind of stuff.
It's Russ the Boss.
Take it down.
Johnny D from Britney Fox.
This is Stephen Pearcy from Rat, the Rat Bastard. You're listening to the Cosmick Voice.
And listen, before we get on with the podcast, I just want to say something real quick. I try my hardest not to date the podcast, but we lost another legend.
Oh, yeah.
At the time of recording this, Mr. Ace Frehley, since we talk about Kiss all the time. I mean, what a loss, man. What I know you and I have made fun of him behind the scenes.
Well, you make fun of you all make fun of your heroes. Listen, with any Kiss fan, it's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah,
right?
of course. You know, you had seen him a few times. You had just seen him not that long ago. And, you know, you and I talked about his, you know, just his state of being alive. But, you know, man, legend. I've been listening to Kiss since he passed. I mean, I listen to Kiss all the time, but, really just got out the older stuff and just listened to his guitar work. And Kiss Alive was, that album is just, to me, Kiss Alive is just perfection. His guitar solos on there. Let Me Go Rock and Roll. That guitar solo he has in that, it's so good, man. It's so clean. Obviously there, it's known that they went in and re-recorded a lot of stuff, but the lead in that song is so clean. You could almost hear the pick on the string. Like, he just had that style, man. And what a loss. What a tremendous loss. And of course, original four back together, because somebody has to die to get this juggernaut back together one more time. And, if anything, I hope Gene and Paul go, man, we should have had them at Madison Square Garden. You will never have that chance again.
I was off social media most of that day, and then I popped on, seeing all these things, and they were conflicting. One said he was...
Yes.
Rest in peace, Ace Frehley. Dude, I literally got choked up, and I think a little tear. No, I was, taken aback by it. And I'm like, no, this can't be real. So I quickly did a Google search, and it didn't say that he was passed, and I go, okay.
I did the same thing.
Okay, he's in the hospital, he took another fall, blah, blah, blah. He's on life support. But people were already reporting that, then there was the families considering pulling the plug and stuff like that. And it was all this craziness. And I'm telling you, I was really hit hard by that, because Ace was such an influence, still an influence. Like you said, the original four now, it can't happen. We do forget sometimes that our heroes are much older than what we see in our heads and what we remember, and it still comes as a shock. It's kind of a bummer, man. It took me days, not like anybody was waiting to hear what Mick Michaels had to say, but I finally put a post out.
It was very good, man.
I mean, because I'm just one of thousands, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of guitar players that he kind of inspired to play, or just stylistic approaches. And I mean, there's a lot of things that I do on stage that I thought that Ace was doing, though I don't play like him at all. It's just a different style, because he had such a unique style. It just didn't seem right to do exactly what he did. But I mean, look at Dimebag. He didn't necessarily sound at all like Ace. There was just something about the way he presented himself, and like you're saying, especially in those 70s years.
Oh, dude.
I never got to meet him, unfortunately. I did see him at one show. I mean, this was before the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and years after the reunion, but he was kind of just playing these little... Literally, I seen him in a dinner theater. I was with my wife. We ate dinner, and we were not even more than 6-8 feet away from, literally at our table eating. And he's playing this little dinner theater thing, and he gets off stage, and I holler, Ace, and he didn't stop. They had a towel or a scarf wrapped around him, so all you seen was his sunglasses, the top of his head, and he's kind of like he was walking through the desert. And he just kind of gives me
thumbs up,
a thumbs up as he's walking by, and that was it. I'm holding the CD, hoping that I would get it, but that didn't work. So they just ushered him right off the stage, past the dinner table service, and right to a back room.
Push the waitresses out of the way.
Yeah. Then the next couple times that I seen him, then things got even bigger. I mean, all of a sudden, then he's playing theaters, right? And he was playing all those mid-sized theaters and stuff like that. I mean, I seen him last year, and I mean, it wasn't the greatest in playing. I mean, but, it was still Ace. It's sad. It really is, man.
It is sad. I mean, listen, man, even though... guys like yourself and Dimebag, you had said that there was something about him, but you and Dimebag and a million other guitar players, you guys, it's kind of like Eddie Van Halen. You may not have played like him or sound like him, but he inspired you guys to pick up a guitar.
Yeah.
And, that's what's the most important thing. Even with Eddie Van Halen, they inspired millions and millions of people to pick up a guitar and will forever, and it's just a shame. And I think Gene said it when he put out his post, it's a shame that it doesn't matter what people feel. It's still an honor. They were getting this Kennedy honor thing.
Yeah.
I have no interest in how people feel about it. It's still an honor. And it's a shame that he won't be there. And it's times like this I go, see, guys, you should have did something at Madison Square Garden. You and I didn't have to see it in Baltimore, but they should have done it in New York. I don't care what it was. I don't care what they should have done, could have done. They just should have done something. And now they'll never have that opportunity.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
And God, can you imagine if those guys were still on the road and he would have had to come out in Ace Frehley makeup? Oh my God, people would have lost their minds now that he's gone.
Yeah. It'd be nice if they actually uncover some recordings that weren't released yet. That would be cool. As far as I know, Ace was working on a brand new album, so I'm sure we're going to get some new music at some point. Of the recording of this show, his death now is under investigation.
I saw that the other day.
Yeah, I've heard some stories. I've read some things that people were saying that there was maybe some criminal activity involved, or, who knows? I mean, it's kind of crazy. As of the last thing I read, I don't know if they were going to do an autopsy to find out, to see if there was something else, but...
Yeah, I think they were doing a toxology report.
Yeah, is that what it was? I don't know.
Yeah. So sad, man. And, I honestly think, Mick, like you were saying, how the day played out. I was even not arguing with people, but there was like people that were like saying Ace really died, and I go, no. What you're hearing is people talking about Ace from Tiger Tales, because, his name was Ace, and he just recently passed away, like literally within, a few days of, Freely passing away.
Right.
And then I was doing the same thing. I would Google it, nothing. Google it, Google it, and then all of a sudden, on my timeline, this is how I started to see it, he passed.
Right.
Then the family puts out that he's on life support. And I'm like, oh, well, and then a couple hours later, they put out that, they had decided to pull the plug.
Right.
Now, was he already dead? Did that information get out before they came out and said, oh, he's on life support? Because it really just kind of happened in such a weird way. That, it was on social media that he passed away. Then all of a sudden he's on life support, which I didn't even know. I'm like, it was weird.
Yeah.
It was just so weird how it played out. So I'm like, oh, maybe that information got out before the family, released that he was on life support. Then they were going to kind of play it out that life support passed away, but that information already got out. So they had to kind of backtrack. I mean, we'll never know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because he's still gone. But what a loss, man. What a loss. Ozzy, Ace Frehley, like just unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And again, you'll never get those four back together, and that just sucks because they've had so many opportunities. And then, like I said, I've been listening to Kiss, and I just went to my Spotify, which, whatever, and then I just typed in Ace Frehley, and I just put on Go. Man, how many great songs did this guy have in his solo career? Jeez, oh man, I'm like, oh, I forgot about this song. Oh, this song, like Snowblind, and of course, Rip It Out. I listened to it and I go, oh my God, he had such great songs in his solo career. I just never, it just kind of out of sight, out of mind. And I'm like, man, what a loss, bro. What a loss in our community. Just horrible. Just horrible.
It is. It's terrible.
And then, of course, Eddie Trunk puts out his press release. It's all about him. Oh, I'm known Ace, and I was at the funeral, and I talked to this guy, and I'm like, did anybody?
I know he gave the blow by blow, and I get it. It's ratings. He's doing it for his listeners. I mean, in his mind, he's giving people an inside look. But I don't know, man. That seems more of a personal thing. It's like, maybe I don't know.
And he's like, I talked to the family, and this is what's going on, and they okayed me to say, dude, well, listen, bro. Like, I get it. You were close with Ace, but I can't. I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't with that guy. I just can't. And, I got to see Paul and Gene, and dude, how about you just go listen? I was there. It was very nice. It's because it's nobody's business.
I know, because you said, I got to shake their hands. Well, what did you expect? Like, did you expect a fist fight? I'm sure there's fist fights at funerals at times, but, we're looking at this as professionals coming in to honor a person that they worked with. They've all even said it. They've had such a volatile relationship, but their connection was evident. It was unbroken. They admired and disliked each other all at the same time. But that's ego at that level, something that you and I can't fathom because of what they achieved and what they've done.
That's right.
They moved on. Listen, you go through any breakup of these bands, they all go through their period of bashing one another. And then somewhere down the line, they look, Van Halen did it. Aerosmith did it. Even Rat has had their ups and downs, and everybody, Dokken, and then somewhere down the line they start playing again. Twisted Sister,
right.
Let's go through the chains here. But a band like Kiss, when you achieve the kind of level that they did, I don't know what the problem is with people with the Kennedy Honors. Is it just because of who's giving it to him this year? But
yes.
I mean, you know, Zeppelin's gotten them and Billy Joel and all these people, and nobody's had a problem with that. So what's the difference of when it comes and who it comes by? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, it's just silly.
I think it's all about who's giving it.
Yeah, and I think that's silliness too, because
it is silly.
Yeah, I mean, because it's not about that person. It's about the artists of what they've done for the American way, the American dream, the culture of what it is. And I mean, it's undeniable. I mean, I just don't understand. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Me neither.
On that note, listen, I was reading, because I do that sometimes, but I watch videos more often because I don't have to read. Industry experts, and whoever they are, I'm not exactly sure, are now saying that, well, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. When we started this podcast, the big thing was artists had to wear many hats. Every hat you can possibly think of. Producer, songwriter, artist, promoter, being your own stylist and music exec. You know, you had to know how to do videos, and you had to know how to cut commercials and build skyscrapers, fly helicopters, and be the quarterback to the Philadelphia Eagles. You had to do all that. Booker, so on and so forth. Sound man, technician.
Yeah.
You had to be able to solder while you're singing, you know, things like that. Now they're saying that the problem with music and artists is that they're doing all of this and not enough creative writing, quality writing. Like, I mean, what are you talking about? You're selling one thing and now you're saying the opposite. Like back when eggs were bad for you. Remember? Early on, it was the incredible edible egg. It was everything. And then all of a sudden it went, eggs were killing people. And that's not true, because it's just about a marketing ploy to get you to do one thing or the other. So now they're saying artists have lost the ability, I'm paraphrasing, of course, to write quality music because they're spending so much time doing everything else. Because now it's about numbers. It's not about quality. You got to get the stuff out there, and you got to get the numbers. That means you got to have the interaction, like the likes, the views, things like that. Yet there's some statistics out that show that all those numbers don't translate to sales. Because here's what's happening. And I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but the thing is since we don't own music anymore, we rent it through the streaming processes. We used to buy an album, the album was ours. We took it home, it was tangible. We could do anything we want with it.
Yep.
But now you pay a subscription fee or a membership fee, and you basically rent the music. You don't even rent to own. It's not even Rent-A-Center. Like at the end of the day, at them 3 months, that TV was yours. You paid 6 times the amount of the TV, but it was yours, baby. The music isn't yours. Right. So they got to just juice up the numbers because there's no ownership anymore. It's crazy. So what are we supposed to do? I mean, think about it. Is it another ploy because things have gone down in what people are paying for because they can do it themselves? Because of programs and apps and things like that. And now that those aspects of the industry are suffering because people are doing their own art. Or there's enough programs out there that people create their own art, like AI. Yeah. There's all this AI stuff. It's right at your hands. I mean, dude, it's not only like full-blown programs that you're on your PC or your Mac, but on your phone. You can download a bunch. You can download free stuff, and of course, you get a limited amount of whatever photos, videos. We've talked about it before. Making music, making commercials, you name it. AI seems. Now I've seen some stuff, and again, I'm just probably behind on the times. But you can take a picture of an empty room, put it into an AI program, and literally design the room. Anybody can. You can do it on your phone. Change the wall colors, add carpet, sconce on the wall, hanging chandeliers, you know, a butler in the corner, whatever. Picture of a bunch of dogs playing poker. And all of a sudden, you can work out your room just like that. And it looks real. Where are we going with all this? And I know I've just literally jumped around, but let's go back to the article and the videos that I've seen. We did get sidetracked a little bit, but at the same time, we got sidetracked because we were trying to make it affordable, economical for ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to me because you and I have talked about in the past, even in the past few seasons, about how since COVID, everybody has come out, you know, just plug into a Casio keyboard, write a song, and put it out, and people listen to it, whatever. That proves it, that we're not spending time writing and creating quality stuff. Now, we could easily say, what is quality, right? What's quality to you and I may not be quality to somebody else, and that I understand. But when these people aren't putting the work in, that's how we're getting all this fake stuff. And you and I, we've actually talked about it. We've actually said that you've read articles that, there's so much bad stuff that's out there because no one is taking the time to create. Everybody is just pushing a button and going. And that's a huge problem when it comes to music being carried on through the years. I mean, listen, I've said it a bunch of times on the show. The stuff I see on streaming music sites that's popular, I just don't understand. I don't understand how this becomes popular because some of it is so awful. It's just awful. And it proves to me that theory that you just said, that is proven to me because of what the stuff is that's out there today.
Again, we were talking about it before we started recording, is this whole new fake music thing is everywhere. Yeah. It's everywhere. And unfortunately, I have to say, it sounds great. There's all this AI music. They're taking popular albums, artists, genres, and flipping the script and creating, say they're taking heavy metal stuff and they're making it R&B type disco Motown. And it sounds amazing. It's amazing stuff. Man. And they're taking R&B stuff. And again, this is popular stuff, like stuff from the Bee Gees, like Staying Alive. And there's a metal version and it sounds unbelievable. So they're making metal to country and country to metal. I mean, it's all over the place. And it's everywhere. It's everywhere now. And people are sharing it. And Spotify, who, we talked about in one of the previous episodes this season, they took down 75 million spam type tracks. But you can go to Spotify and it's called fake music. So they're not hiding anything. You know what you're getting. And the streams are out the roof. The monthly subscribers to those albums or whatever that artist is through the roof. It's not even an artist. It's just called fake music. And again, it's really good. And that's an issue.
Really good.
It's so good. It's like, how do you compete with that? Then how do you compete with them redoing a top-selling mega hit album, like, say, Metallica's Black Album, and they do it in R&B funk disco, and it sounds incredible. You're like, oh my God, it's like listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire. The other thing is who's backing that? There's got to be a juggernaut financing to it, because that just isn't happening, in my opinion, because it's showing up everywhere. And I've seen named artists starting to share it, saying, this is mind-blowing. This is unbelievable. You got to take a listen. And like you had said privately, you and I are sharing it back and forth, and then we share it to somebody else. And we're just doing it not to shed light to it and give it popularity. We're sharing it among each other going, can you believe this?
Yeah.
Am I the only one that thinks this is good? And you're like, dude, it's amazing.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. We've said it before. I think we said it on the show, maybe in last season or season before. There was a thrash metal record that I listened to that was complete AI, and I'm like, man, if I didn't know this was AI, I would buy this in a heartbeat because it was and it was original material. It was so good. So I'm like, this is what I would buy. I would buy this record, and that's crazy, man, where we're at. And even people listening to us, and they go, well, maybe they do have a lot of Spotify followers because maybe they pay for them. Okay, sure, we could talk about that. But even if they pay for some of those, there's so many of those followers, it's just now getting, because they have that many followers.
It's compounding on its own now.
Yeah, it's kind of resurging on other playlists sporadically because there's so many followers. So even if they don't have all those followers, if all those followers aren't legal or they're just spam or whatever, they have enough that it's causing it to get noticed more and more. And you and everybody else listening to us, once you click on something and you listen to it, you're constantly going to see it. That's just how it is.
Right. Tell you 99% of the stuff, I'm not hearing it on Spotify because I'm not a Spotify user, but I am seeing it on YouTube. I'm seeing it on Facebook, and I'm seeing it on Instagram. Yep. And it's every day there's something new. As an artist, you can't compete with the technology that fast. I was talking to my singer yesterday, And I said, here's the thing. I would say that 90% of that team, or the teams that are putting this together, are probably non-musicians, non-artists. They're programmers, people that understand, and they maybe have one or two artists on tap to say, what do you think? And they'll just say, hey, can you make this a little more human? Could you do a little bit here? Just as oversight, like a counselor or something like that. But, dude, the stuff is just amazing. I mean, some of the stuff they're doing, it's just like, this is crazy. This is crazy.
Good. Some of it's so good.
You are listening to the Cosmick Voice with your hosts, Chris Natalini and Mick Michaels.
So, which I think leads into the topic that we're going to talk about on this show, is tribute bands. Are they stealing the scene for original artists? In my opinion, what's the point of having new music when all these records of the past are being brought back to life in a new version, a new form, a new genre for a new audience? Because all it's doing is increasing the streams of not only the new stuff, right, this AI fake music stuff, but people will go back and go, let me hear the original.
Yeah.
Let me compare the two. So back catalogs are going to make more and more money. So again, we're still listening to Led Zeppelin. We're still listening to Black Sabbath. We're still listening to Kiss. We're still listening to the Bee Gees, which I don't have a problem with because I'm fans of all that music. I love it. And hearing it differently makes me appreciate it even more. It's like, this is why it was good in the first place.
That's right.
Okay?
Yep.
But where does that leave new music, not only for the artists, but for the fans who now expect to hear music that's already in existence? Hence why, in my opinion, cover bands, tribute bands are once again a major popular outlet for venues and for fans. They want to come to a place and know what they're getting. They want to be familiar with it. They don't want to invest the time to go, who are you guys? Never heard of you. Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, man? Do you think that they're stealing the scene?
Before I answer that, which by explanation, everybody listening knows exactly where I'm going with this. I've kept a lot of it to myself. I've touched on it once in a while because I do have friends that are in tribute bands. I have family members that used to be in a successful tribute band. I understand that people can't go see certain artists because they're too expensive to go see. I totally understand that. So instead of paying $200 to go see your favorite artist, you'll pay $10 at the local pub to see a band either, use my language, half-ass it or be really good at it. Because it's familiar, right? We all like familiar. We all do the same thing. We all rewatch TV shows. I think I read one time, people watch the same thing over and over because you're not surprised by anything. It's like comfort food. You know what you're getting. You know where the storyline's going to go. So you're watching it just to be in that safe space, right? That you're just in your head and you're just enjoying that, which is why people watch and listen to stuff that they used to listen to. On that note, I'm not a fan of tribute bands. I've never been a fan of cover bands, even back in the day, because I always felt that they did take spots for original music. Not necessarily on the charts, obviously, but places to play. Because they can play places that we cannot. We as in being original artists, right? I know you've played a lot of really cool venues. I've played a lot of really cool venues, but there are other venues that you and I will never step on stage because the venues just don't want to do original music. Now, the other end of that is, well, people don't go see original music. Well, yeah, that is correct. They don't. But that's not always the band's fault. You know, it's just people. And I understand because people want to spend their money at certain places and get what they want. And I totally understand it. And I don't hold it against anybody that wants to pay $10 to go see a Pretenders tribute act instead of me and my metal band. Like, I totally understand it. I get it. You want to spend your money. But I do feel that they have taken up a lot of space in our community when it comes to venues. Even musicians, you know, I've said it before, I'm in search of a drummer. And every ad, every post that I see, people want to play covers. And I understand the other end of that. If you want to spend your time You want to make sure, you get paid, because a lot of these cover bands, true bands get paid. So you don't want to put a lot of commitment and effort into playing something original and spending time away from family, friends, missing things, that aspect of it, that outlook on it. So I get it. I get all of that. I get the other side of it. And I'm not coming down on anybody that plays it. I'm not coming down on anybody that enjoys it. It is what it is. It's not my thing, because for me, I would rather write and create original material and play original material than someone else's material. I mean, that's just basically what it comes down to. So to answer your question along that way, I believe that cover bands have always been in our way. It's always been like that. Even when we were younger, they just took up spaces that original music should have been in. Clubs, venues, whatever. They just should have been in. And now tribute bands are taking up spots in large festivals or even smaller festivals. And I'm not crazy about that either, because I would rather see an original band in that spot. But now it's just getting harder for original bands to even be seen, let alone heard, because of that and because of the popularity of them. And again, I totally understand it, and I don't hold it against anybody that likes that stuff, that wants to do that stuff, that thinks it's more important or better than writing original material and playing it out. That's totally fine, because this is my decision, because I could easily jump in not easily, I don't want to sound like I'm like this mega god singer, but if I wanted to, I am sure I could find a hard rock, heavy metal tribute act and just jump right in, or even a cover band. Funny, I was talking to my wife about it a couple days ago, time recording this, and we got talking about it, because I was again going through ads, looking for a drummer, no drummer available because everybody wants to play covers. And she said to me, well, if you could do a cover band, like, what would be the stuff that you'd be able to do? And I'm like, well, I could easily pull off Quiet Riot, Def Leppard, Accept. Like, I couldn't be out there doing, Judas Priest and Iron Maiden. Like, I just don't have that voice. But yeah, I could pull off Twisted Sister or Poison, and the list that kept coming out of my mouth, I'm going, man, I really could just join a cover band. Like, I could pretty much do a lot of the gruffer, even if we're talking about like 80s, hard rock, heavy metal, like I could probably do a good portion of them. I couldn't do Dokken, that kind of stuff. But I'm like, I could probably pull off Rat, like Van Halen, I could probably do, just because of where my voice range is. But the longer the list got, I was like, I get it. I totally understand why people want to do it. I understand all the reasons, but for me, it's just not my thing. But yeah, I do. I believe they're taking up space in our community. And I don't mean that to be mean or derogatory towards what they're doing. People want to see it. People come out. I mean, that's good for the venues, I guess. If I want to be happy about it for anybody, the venues, because they're still pulling in live music, and live music is another thing that's going away, whether it's tribute, cover, or original, especially in the hard rock heavy metal scene. What do you think?
Doing a real quick search, Google AI, their overview, and they took it from several sources, including Reddit and some other articles that have been online. Their first thing is they say tribute bands don't definitely kill the original music scene, but add a layer of competition and create a complex dynamic for local musicians. Some argue that they do kill the scene, and some argue that they don't. So a couple arguments that they're killing the scene. They take up venue time and resources. They reduce opportunities for new artists. They are sometimes seen as lazy or predictable. And they shift audience habits. Now, to me, I think that they shift audience habits and they take up venue time and resources. Okay? I think
they're facts.
They're definitely facts. But then here's the argument against that. They can provide crucial revenue for venues. Now, again, that's for venues. I get it. It brings people, because it goes back down to number 4, shifts audience habits, because they're going to go to something, and we've been saying it, to something that they're comfortable or familiar with, and it makes them spend money, stay longer, venue makes more money. Okay? They provide paid work for musicians. Well, sure, because of all of what we just said. If the venues are making money, the bands, those cover bands
are making money.
I
totally get it.
I don't agree with these two next points. They keep music history alive. Yeah and no. I guess they're introducing, to me, a music scene's music history is what the original artist brings to it. If they're talking about music history as a whole, well, yeah, because I guess what they're doing is they're introducing older music to newer generations. Maybe. Especially in the tribute band. Cover bands sometimes play more popular type mainstream songs.
Yeah.
Some current, some not so current. The thing is just like Weird Al Yankovic said, nobody knows what the hot songs are today in general, where they did back in the 90s, in the 80s, 70s, and so forth. People of all kinds knew generally what a song was. So there was an instant recognition of it, where now you could play the top 5, top 10 for me. I probably haven't heard any of them.
Nope.
And then the last thing is they don't always compete directly. Well, that's not true, because I'll tell you the first thing that we've been shuffled to the side multiple times in light of or in choice of a cover band, tribute band. And in recent years, I've opened up for multiple tribute bands. It's become more of a norm.
You have.
And where it wasn't always the case. And to play, you often have to now do that. The problem with that is when they have these tribute nights, the venues want bands that are already doing covers and or a tribute themselves. They'll stack different tribute bands and different cover bands. And what we've done over the years, and again, I was never a fan of it, of throwing in covers into an original set, but I have a couple covers that I've done and that I do, and they seem to play into what the crowd wants. And we use them more to highlight our own songs than we do to highlight that song per se.
And that's a business model that's been going on for a long time.
I mean, all the top guys do
Octane
it.
is one of those bands that did it correctly. And unfortunately, it didn't work out for them, but they were doing that. I remember back in the day, they would play these bars, do 3 sets, and every once in a while they'd throw 1 or 2 originals in, and then they just started to throw more in because there's your crowd. You got them. You're, Octane is playing in front of people who love them, and it's just going to carry over into something else. And unfortunately, it didn't. But I understood the business model.
Yeah. Again, I'm only doing 2, but I don't do it all the time. Sometimes we leave it up to the singer. Let's play it by ear, see where the crowd is. Because when you're playing longer sets as an original band, the crowd can wane because they're not everybody's 100% sure of what you're playing. I get it. I totally get it. I'm an audience member too. And it's sometimes a tough wrangle to keep that audience engaged. So,
it is.
Like you said, the business model, if you can throw in some popular things and you have a little twist to it, that's a plus.
I don't agree with the whole comment about laziness. I don't like that sense. I don't like that term, because I don't feel that people that are learning these songs, going out there, playing them, perfecting them as best they can, I don't think that's lazy. I don't. I mean, if you want to talk about lazy in terms of like they don't want original material, I still wouldn't call that lazy, but that's an argument. But to say like that people are doing it because they're lazy, I don't believe that. Now, what I will say on that note is there's egos in, and I've seen this a million times, there's egos in original music. Some of these tribute bands, cover bands, whatever, their egos are something that I go, no. Like, you have no, I'm sorry. Sure, do you book a venue? Can you pack a venue? Can you pack a theater? Sure. Nobody has a right to have an ego, but you don't have a right to have an ego, because in my eyes, in my opinion, you're just playing someone else's songs. So let's just bring your ego down a little bit. Yeah. Lazy? No. Egotistical? No place for it. Because really, you are just a cover band. And if any of us have the right to have a little bit of an ego or a little bit of a pat ourselves on the back, it's guys like you and I who are in the trenches, who've literally toured the world. We're the guys. And I'm not saying we have an ego. I'm not saying we have a right to have an ego. But if we're going to put egos up against guys or women that are in tribute bands or cover bands to egos of people that are in original music, yeah, you don't have a right to have an ego. Maybe it sounds a little harsh, but I see it more often than not, and I go, there's no reason you have to have an ego, bro, because you're just playing someone else's songs. Like,
yeah, to
me, there's no room for ego for that. There's no room in ego for anything, whether it's original or cover. But cover? No. Drop the ego, man. Just be thankful you're playing.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree. We come across that quite often. I think the laziness thing comes from other musicians who've been in the trenches struggling, and they just say, hey, it's an easy thing. I mean, it is easier than writing good original material and running the risk of, there's all this thing. There's a built-in crowd. There's a built-in popularity. You don't have to do any real advertising for it. You just put it out there, and then that's it. I don't know, man. It's hit or miss. It's the times. Cover bands, tribute bands have always been a thing. We've always there.
Had it.
I mean, the Beatles did it. Tom Petty did it. So on and so forth. It was popular here in Philly, so it was popular in other cities as well. The original scene came in, then it died out again. People wanted to go back to covers. Original scene came back in. So it's a cycle, but it's always going to be there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. God, yeah.
So we'll have to deal with it. What do you think, bud? You got anything else you want to add?
No, man. No, not at all. Just keep pushing. Let's go.
That's it, baby. That's it. If you like that episode, check out some of our other episodes at www.thecosmickvoice.com. Step into the Cosmickverse and fill that void. Thanks so much for listening. This is the Cosmick Voice. If you have a question, a topic idea, or something you want us to address, just contact us through our Facebook page at The Cosmick Voice. You can listen to The Cosmick Voice at Spotify, Breaker, Apple, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, and at thecosmicview.com. Check us out on Facebook at The Cosmick Voice.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for us. If you're hearing this message, you've listened to the entire episode. And for that, Mick and I would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And we hope you enjoyed this new episode. And if you did, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Also, feel free to let us know what topics you'd like to see covered in future episodes of The Cosmick Voice. And you can get in touch with us through thecosmickvoice.com and, of course, all of the Cosmick Voice social medias. Take care and be safe.
You're listening to The Cosmick Voice. Music, talk, and nothing but business.